thanks for joining me on Living A to Z. Today I'm going to be showing you how I built 3 DIY shelves. They are front-facing bookshelves for Rowan's room. I love this look because it shows all of his books on display, and it's easier to find books that I'm wanting, as well as when he gets older he can see books and point them out. So definitely a project that I enjoyed doing. I also want to say that this was a super easy project for me. As long as you know how to work a drill, you've got this. So with that being said, let's get started. First, gather your supplies. You will need 2 1x4 boards per shelf in the desired length, 1 stop trim per shelf, same length as the boards, 1-inch trim nails, 1.5-inch wood screws, and interior wood stain in the smallest can. Also, don't forget to find all of your tools beforehand so you're not running around in the middle of your project looking for those items. You're going to need a drill, hammer, belt sander, and stain brush. The very first step is attaching your 1x4s together. I used 3 wood screws per shelf, and you can see that I've used an additional 1x4 underneath, but that's just to hold my other 2 boards in place and made it easier for me to screw them together. And I only used 3 screws per shelf when attaching the back to the base. I do want to let you know that I chose Common Board. Common Board is a very affordable board, however, with that being said, it's also very fragile. There was a few times that I accidentally busted through the wood with the screws because of this. If you want to avoid this issue, you can always do a pine board or a more durable, thick board. I just wanted to do something a little bit more affordable, so I chose the cheaper board. The next step is to attach the very front trim piece. This is what keeps your books from falling off the shelf. You see that I have Gorilla Glued this one, however I decided that that was going to take too long because I'd have to clamp them and give it dry time, and I'm a very impatient person, so I ended up actually attaching the trim with trim nails after this shelf, and you can actually see me going through and deciding to hammer some nails into this shelf because I didn't want to wait for the glue to dry. So I purchased my wood from Home Depot and I had them cut it in the store. So that meant that some of my boards were not exactly even, so I used my belt sander to go through and flatten out the ends so they're flush up against each other. The next part is my favorite part. It's staining the shelves because it really starts to pull the whole look together and you really get an idea of what your shelves are going to look like in the end. I use a stain brush to apply the indoor stain to my shelf. And then I go through after I have covered my boards with stain, and I use an old rag to wipe off the excess stain. This allowed the grains to show through, which was my desired look. When you are finished staining, be sure to let the stain dry for the length required on the can. Once your stain has dried, you're ready to hang your shelves on the wall. All I did was use a stud finder and I drilled the shelves directly into the studs. I didn't worry too much about the screws showing because I planned on having books covering the screws at all times. Alright guys, that's all I've got for you today, so thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, follow me on Instagram, and I'll see you next week.